It's your girl Creole.
Let's go.
It's your girl Creole.
It's your boy Retro. It's your boy Retro. It's your boy Retro. Retro. It's your boy Retro. Let's go.
It's Creole.
Let's go.
It's Creole.
Let's go.
Your girl Creole.
Let's go.
Your girl Creole.
Oh yeah.
It's your girl Creole.
Let's go.
It's your girl Creole.
It's your boy Retro. It's your boy Retro. But yeah. Yo, what's up? This is your boy Retro.
And it's your girl Creole, and this is another episode of All But Yeah.
So goddamn extra. I know it's been a minute, but damn, can you tone it down some? I know you're glad to be back.
You want the NPR voice?
No, never mind. Too late. We up now.
This is your girl Creole Vixen, and we're back with another episode of All But Yeah.
That's how your ass was at Southeastern.
I was not.
This is Creole Vixen with your news report, your traffic news.
That's not how I used to sound.
Somebody broke down on their way to
No.
Escalades,
No.
and they need a
That is not how it
there's a
sounded.
party over there at Club LA. Please make sure you wear something breathable because it's hot as monkey balls in there.
They will not be accepting tall tees. It is
No
Girl
tall
and Sexy
tees.
Night.
That's right.
Collar shirts only.
Collar shirts only. Can't wear sneakers. Must be square toes. You hear me? That's when you had that.
Man, the early 2000s was
That's when you
something,
had that.
boy.
That's when your boy Jay-Z had that Sean Carter shirts, boy. Them button down. Them things used to be a grip. But what me and my cousin did, we used to go to Burlington. You heard me? Cop them things for like $20. Used to have it was that quote unquote metrosexual look.
Yeah.
We had a song we used to sing. He's a metrosexual. He's a metrosexual. He's a metrosexual. Then I find out he became a homosexual. He's a homosexual. He's
He
a
ain't become nothing. He always been.
Shh. He came out his cocoon. But anyway. What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to another episode of All But Yeah. I know it's been a minute, but you know what? This year, y'all just gonna have to get it how y'all get it, okay? Real talk. We try all different avenues. We try to do the scheduling and everything, and try to just make sure to keep putting out content, and people always say, consistency. And part of my, I have a speech impediment, but consistency is key for everything. But I feel that it's true. But just because you may not.
Oh, we were solid when we were consistent.
But I feel like we never stopped being consistent because we never stopped doing it.
No, we never stopped doing it. But
people in their mind being consistent is like,
Well, they say that because people have such a short attention span these days.
But I feel like if you have quality,
yeah,
and you put out good, solid stuff,
right,
that your people will wait for you. They will.
True.
I believe that don't get me wrong. Be consistent across the board. Everything is good, but I think I feel like in different avenues of life, what you're trying to apply, being consistent with.
Well, yeah,
doesn't apply the same.
But consistency helps grow the audience.
I understand that.
You can have your loyal people that stick around no matter how long it takes, but to grow an audience requires consistency.
I understand that, but even so, with that being said, with what we do and the way our life is set up,
we have 9 to 5-ish. Like they're not quite 9 to 5s.
And every time we look, either one of our schedule changes.
I know.
So like I said, we're gonna give you content, but
the way they're talking at my job, this is where I will be.
Yeah, for now.
Until somebody retires.
Until somebody get booted out.
Like I'm butted up against 2 people who would have to retire in order for me to move up at this point. So I'm like right under them now. So I have a consistent schedule for a while now.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see what the world gives me. But like I said, with that being said, we're going to give you content throughout the year. Don't get me wrong, and we're going to try our best to be as consistent.
I put it this way: we're not gonna promise you a certain schedule.
Yeah, we're not. I'm not, because I'm not killing myself.
Because life is life, and life is life.
And me and Creole, we would go back and forth about stuff like that, and be like, "Well, you and
you ain't edited. It's been 3 weeks."
Yeah, and all that. No, I'm not doing that.
But it also helps that we probably will go guest co-host list for a while just to get back in the groove.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute before we do. We're not doing guests. Let me tell you something. We are in the process of 2024 is a lot right now for us. A wedding in October. Me getting these certain certs to up my careers, make this money. Moving in, trying to get that figured out. So yeah, there's a lot going on. So like I said, with that being said, we're gonna still give you content. Don't get us wrong.
Oh Lord, the moving in together is gonna definitely be something, because we're gonna have to find a space for us to record.
Well, talking to my mother, she hopefully her Jehovah Witness brother, if one of his properties come up, because he got some properties over there, Wagmill, West Wego, we could move in over there.
To sell or rent?
To rent.
To rent?
Well,
would it be about what you're paying now? Or a little more?
Well, she told him that I could do $1,500. I said, man, I'm doing $1,300. Why when you and Tiff move in? I said, no. Don't put Tiff money. Don't put Creole money in the mix. I can only afford $1,300. I better do that. Now, since that's your Jehovah Witness brother, can you hook me up? I could do $1,000. Can we do $1,000? If you could
help
do
us
$1,000,
help
so
us
I can stack money. Yeah.
I mean, it is Wagami we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, can he?
Even though
he got
Wagami is supposed to be like up and coming now.
He has a couple properties. From what my mother told me, so I'm like, well, look, if you could do
nothing huge,
if you could do it for a stack, so we could stack money, so we could buy something,
right?
That'll help us out, because that's the thing. Like, I'm not stacking no money where I'm at.
True.
And I ain't gonna lie, I don't care for where I stay at. I just, like, when I was coming here today, they just had 3 random people just hanging right there, not too far from my house, smoking and whatnot. I'm like, what's up? And I just got in the truck, and I don't like that. And I don't like that for you. Like, I don't want you to
That's
be.
That's New Orleans life, baby.
No. You don't experience that shit here.
You in the thick of it. You're in the thick of it. You're in the hood now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the fuck out, too. So fuck that.
I want to live in New Orleans.
No.
You in the real New Orleans, not the gentrified version.
I didn't actually live in that part. Okay. I said, oh, this shit nice where you stay. I wouldn't mind staying in this area.
Oh, well, yeah. Absolutely. I would love to be right across the street.
Yeah, so yeah, fuck all that. So that's what's going on with us. But like I say, always we want to give you quality over quantity, and that's what we're gonna keep on doing. Shout out to Uncle Mark out there. He always listening to us. I appreciate Uncle Mark. I wish he'd go ahead and retire so he can we get him. Boy, the day that we get Uncle Mark on here, bruh, he got some shit to tell y'all. And I can't wait.
You're going to have people starting a campaign.
Uncle Mark retired. We want Uncle Mark.
Because they're like, clearly he has some gems if y'all keep bringing him up.
Uncle Mark. Uncle Mark is the gym keeper. You hear me? Uncle Mark.
This is the truth. It really is the truth.
He has the...
That's who got me into a lot of the things, like the love of music and music videos and creating music videos and all of that stuff like that.
Shoot, Uncle Mark, gotta love him. But talking about music,
like he was definitely the MTV generation that got me into it.
Talking about music, so not recently, because it would have been about a week, 2 weeks. Grammys. Well, let's go before the Grammys, because it was before the Super Bowl or the Grammys.
Grammys was first.
Grammys was first?
Grammys was first.
Okay. So let's talk about the Grammys, y'all. And we had did an episode about the Grammys before. And guess what? It's probably going to sound like a repeat, because it pretty much is.
It's the same thing every year.
It's the same thing every year.
It's the same bullshit every year.
Every year, same
That's
bullshit.
why it sounds repetitive, because it's the same bullshit every year.
Every year, same shit.
It's the same bullshit every year. Beyonce puts out an album and she doesn't get album of the year.
Right. And with that being said, Killer Mike, he won, what did he win? Best rap album or hip hop album?
He won 3. But he won best hip hop album was the biggest one.
Right. I remember that. And what killed me was there were a lot of young generation people who was like, man, who the fuck is Killer Mike? What, so put out music. He should. I'm like, who? Who the fuck is you talking about?
Right.
I don't know none of this nigga music. And have you listened to the Killer Mike album? I listened to it. I love
the Killer
that
Mike
shit.
album is solid.
It's a traditional hip hop. It's straight up hip hop.
But they don't know what that is. These youngins don't know what that is, because it's right now it's Ice Spice and Lil Uzi and Sexy Red. It's just like TikTok soundbite type music with no lyrical quality. Cause like everybody made a big deal about Uzi's I Just Wanna Rock, and I finally like actually listened to it, because I'm gonna tell you at 35 on my radio in the car doesn't change from the throwback channel at this point. That's how I know I'm getting old.
I wanna rock.
And so I've finally I think the throwback channel like was out or like down for like a brief minute. So I turned on Q93 and they had the Breakfast Club on, because this is when I was working the morning shift and like working the overnight shift, and I'm like leaving on my way home. And so I turned that on. And the song came on. I was like, "Oh, okay." I listened to the whole thing for the first time, and there's no lyrics.
Well, no,
there's none. And people are like, "That was one of the biggest songs."
I think what made the song big, or I think made the song big, is him dancing to it.
Well, yeah, watching him dance.
That's the only thing.
And I mean, that's all it really is. It's just a dance song, but there is no lyrics. But don't tell me it should be best hip hop song if there's no lyrics.
Yeah, no.
I just want to rock. Like that's, I mean, yeah, it's a jam. I ain't gonna lie, but like, it's a jam. But
that's what you want. That's what you want to come out to at the reception.
Huh?
That's what you want to come
Absolutely
out to. I want
to. No.
Yeah.
No.
Or your booty hole, coochie pink booty hole brown.
Fuck no. But
no, you like that the other one with your boy Drake.
Yeah, so me and Mo had this discussion while we were riding in Namtalk, and we was like, I don't like Sexy Red, but like kind of begrudgingly end up liking the Drake song, because it's like it's not her song and she's not on it much, but it's like you find yourself you listen to, but
let that coochie breathe. Bend that ass over and let that coochie breathe.
I know.
But you kind of...
No, let me explain it. Because, okay. So, no, I do not like that Pound Town song. I don't. I fucking don't. Okay.
Ain't Pound Town, but bend that ass over coochie breathe.
I don't like Sexy Red, so don't even correlate it with that. But I like the beat to the song. It is a party song. It feels very like old 90s, like Luke and the 2 Live Crew. And so it's a party song. And like me and Mo was saying, we was like, you just like I hate Sexy Red, but you like find yourself like just shrugging your shoulder like, because I fucking like this song.
Like, I give you that.
It's song. Like I like the song. I still don't care for her.
I'll give you that. It is kind of like 2 Live Crew. It's a raunchy song.
It's a raunchy club song. It gives me a old 90s Luke and the 2 Live Crew vibe.
You got a daiquiri in one hand and you got your cheeks clapping in the other. You're like, hey.
And so it's good for what it is. Vibe. Right. But like Pound Town don't give me that. You know what I'm saying? Like Pound Town is just ridiculous.
Pound Town is just straight ignorant.
It's just straight ignorant. But like she really just does the chorus and maybe like a brief rap at the end of the song. But like it's not the whole song. Most of the song is SZA and Drake.
Let that coochie breathe.
Bend that ass over. Let that coochie breathe. Shake that ass for Drake. Shake that ass for me.
Yeah, it's wild, you guys. It's wild. But back to the Grammys. So like I say, no, not Money Mike. Killer Mike
Killer
won.
Mike. And then it got arrested. Then promptly got arrested for apparently getting in a fight with a security guard there.
Yeah, that's some, I don't know, some wild shit.
It's kind of fuzzy because at one point they were saying he wasn't really arrested. They just more like escorted out. And I haven't heard of any charges. And then at one point they were like, he might face assault charges, but then it was like he might have a warrant for something. It's so fuzzy. But like the Grammys was like he wasn't really arrested. He was just escorted out. He was detained and escorted out.
So
I kind of was joking. I was like, I mean, he won all his awards like pre-telecast. I was like, what if he got in a fight intentionally and was like, kick my ass out so I can have an excuse to not be stuck here for the next 3 hours. I didn't won all my categories. I don't want to be sitting here all night.
I would have like you gotta stay for the whole thing.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they would want to.
Man, kiss my ass.
Or like be able to acknowledge you during the show. Be like, hey, yeah, before the telecast, Killer Mike swept all the rap categories.
Thank you.
You know, and they show you on camera and stuff like that. But like,
show my picture up and that bitch, I'm gone.
Like, what if he was sitting there and they were like, well, sir, you know, you can't leave until the telecast is over, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, man, fuck this, I'm leaving. And like, start some shit with security.
No lie.
And be like, kick me out, please.
No lie, when I start dropping music, if I was to ever win a Grammy, I would take that Grammy and we'll go to Waffle House and celebrate. That's where they would find me.
Well, that's why I showed you. I showed you the
famous Waffle House,
the famous picture. But that's like the famous picture of Hilary Swank after she won for I think it was $1 Million Baby, and she is at a diner like hamburger joint that's clearly like open all night in L.A. And she didn't left the governor's ball because you have to go to the governor's ball to get the plaque tacked on. Fuck. So, yeah, you win your Oscar. But, I mean, she won for, like, Best Actress. So, that's, like, the one at the end of the night. So, it's not like you have to wait even longer. So, it's like, you win Best Actress. They give Best Picture. That's the end of the show. You go to the governor's ball. Everybody's like, oh, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. And you go stand in line. And there's these people, I think there's, like, maybe, like, 2-4 people that actually sit up there with them and tack your plaques on the Oscar with your name and the movie and the year and blah, blah, blah. And you're free to go after that. You can stay and eat. You're free to go. That. And so there's a famous picture, and this is like years ago, where Hilary Swank is sitting at some hamburger joint in her beautiful, expensive designer gown with the Oscar sitting on the table, tearing up a big-ass hamburger.
I'm going straight to Waffle House. All-Star Special.
So it would look just like that.
Cover and smother, please. Thank you. That's where I would be at. Straight up. I
definitely with security, because you know niggas gonna want to try to take your shit.
Well, yeah. But shit, most of the time Waffle House be, especially down here, the Waffle House be empty.
At least the one we go to.
Yeah, it go be right there in Avondale. Hey man, then you just went over. Yep, sure did.
Right.
Gotta get extra sausage.
Do they have a Waffle House in California?
I don't know. California be crazy.
Cause I know Waffle House is like a Southern thing.
Shit, I'll put one out there. Yeah,
I know it's like a Southern thing, so I don't.
Now who won the best album of the year?
Who you think?
Oh yeah, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Forgot. Taylor Swift won. Mm-hmm. This is her fourth.
They said she's now the most album of the year awards.
So
more than Michael Jackson, more than Prince, more than Stevie Wonder,
more than Whitney,
more than Mariah. Yep.
More than and the people back in the day, you know, that we had the founders, the legends, more than any of them.
Yep.
I'm gonna say this, and you can take it how you want to. You know, that's why I told Creel a long time ago. I say, me being an artist, me being a musician, whatnot, would I, you know, if I got considered or won a Grammy, yeah, that's cool and stuff. But to be honest, the Grammys really don't hold weight to me. But the ones that holds weight to me, the ones that I would care about as a musician, as an artist is the billboards, because those are
or anything that's fan voted.
of course, anything that's fan voted. That means my people, my crew, my team went out there and voted for me and put me in the spotlight to get these awards. That shit about, this is your peers. No, it's not amongst my peers. Who's on the fucking board? Who? What peers are on the board?
And they say that time and time again, it's not the peers of like the current artists. It's like a bunch of old heads who are like, we don't like this. We don't like hip hop, so we're not gonna air their awards being given out. Of course not. We don't care for R&B, so we're barely going to show them. Those are all gonna be pre-telecast, but we're gonna do all of the pop categories and all of that stuff like that. And because they barely, this year I got to watch it, and they barely showed any awards being given out, like barely.
True.
Like it was more performance based than like people actually getting theirs on stage, which is also makes the artist mad, because they're like, this is my moment. I want to be able to be seen. I want my people to see, instead of me shooting them a text going, yeah, I won 3 Grammys and it wasn't shown. You want to be able to get on stage and be like, okay, I appreciate my crew. Right. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. My producer, my manager, my mom, my dad, my sisters, my family, my wife, my kids, all this stuff like that. This was inspiration. It was a rough year, and I'm glad I could do this, whatever. People want to be able to be acknowledged, but it's almost like they only want the big names to be seen and get that moment, which is unfair too. Which is why a lot of them get mad too, because it's like Killer Mike won all 3 of his awards. He swept the rap category, but they were all pre-televised. Yeah. Coco Jones won R&B album, and all that was pre-televised. Mm-hmm.
But that's why,
I think the only 2 black people who got to actually win their awards on stage was Jay-Z's Icon Award and SZA.
Right. Now,
and that was only for one of, I think SZA might have won 3, and she only got to be thankful for 1. I lie. You know who else got to accept her award on stage? Victoria Monet.
There you go. Now, I was gonna say that I sent you that Instagram clip with your boy, that comedian, who was talking about what Jay-Z said and everything. Mm-hmm. And this is the guy's truth. I feel that as a culture, as hip hop, R&B, all that we bring, they need to go ahead and boycott going to these awards.
But y'all did. But simultaneously, they destroyed the BET Awards. Well, that was our look. That was our thing.
The source, yeah, it was. But we need to get back to that though.
They killed all of them. They sold BET. BET is just nothing but Tyler Perry shows now.
But BET was bought by VH1, right?
Well, pretty much at this point, BET, VH1, and MTV. So, okay. BET, VH1, and MTV all were loosely under the same umbrella. So it was they all were under the same parent company.
But had other people running it.
They all were run kind of separately to be their own entities. Right. And so BET, of course, was Black Entertainment Television. So that's why you saw your black music videos and they had their, and we always talk about this, BET had its version of a lot of MTV shows. So if MTV had Making a Video, BET had Access Granny, and things like that. MTV had Cribs, BET had How I'm Living. So, they were under the same parent company, but still their own entities, somewhat their own identities, where BET had their shows. And you didn't see BET shows on MTV. Right. MTV had their shows. You didn't see MTV shows on BET or VH1. Right. And VH1 had their shows, and you didn't see it on MTV or BET. Now they all bleeding together. All of the channels show Martin, and all of the channels show Love and Hip Hop now. Yep. All of them show Wild 'N Out. Yep. They all have bled into each other now. And so there's no separation. And so, the MTV The VMAs are dying.
Yeah,
and
man, that used to be big
MTV
too.
Movie Awards is dying. The BET
too.
Awards is dying. The Hip Hop Awards ain't all that great because hip hop ain't really great right now.
We need a reset.
And like I said, VH1 is just wilding out marathons. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy wilding out, but it's all wilding out now. It's
right.
all wilding out and loving hip hop.
They're wilding out with the wilding out.
It may be a movie here or there. Same thing with BET, MTV, and VH1, like a movie here or there.
Oh yeah.
But that's it.
They need to change BET to Tyler Perry Network. Cause that's all that is.
That's all it is Tyler Perry shows.
Shit. That's all Tyler Perry shit.
All of the stuff that was strictly available on BET streaming service is now on BET.
So it leads me to this, back to what I was saying. As a culture, we need to boycott all of that. We need to boycott the Grammys. We need to boycott the Oscars. We need to boycott all those quote unquote prestigious award ceremonies where, let's be honest, we are the cult. Our culture is the one that drives that money for all that stuff. You know, I'm noticing that I'm seeing more and more commercials with black people in it. Mm-hmm. I remember back in the day, in the early 90s, I remember back in those days, you barely saw, you might see one black kid in in a commercial in the background or something.
Right.
Now it's like, it's more and more of it because of, and then would they tie our culture to those commercials? Mm-hmm. So, and what we need to realize is that, bruh, we really hold that financial wallet to these corporations.
Right.
And we should not have to bend or bow to any of that because we have enough.
But here's the thing. The problem is the Grammys had actually gotten better.
Man.
Because of competition. They had competition. So they had to fight for black viewership against the BET Awards.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So when we had the BET Awards and it was like the culture night that everybody made sure they was at home on Sunday night to watch the BET Awards in June, to see all the performances and to see the Lifetime Achievement Award and to see who was going to win such award and all this sort of that, because it was like the night you had to watch because it was going to be this, it was going to be that, it was going to be surprise guests, it was going to be surprise collaborations, and all this stuff. So you had to see it, and they always joke it was a black Twitter event, So, everybody was like, I got to watch the BET Awards because come Monday, everybody's going to be talking about it and I can't miss it because I don't know what's going to happen and who going to pop up and who going to do this and da-da-da-da-da-da. And so with the BET Awards getting so big and people being excited to see the BET Awards and getting all of these ratings and stuff, the Grammys had to step up in the early 2000s.
Right.
So that's when you had like the performances with Beyonce and Prince together and Beyonce and Tina Turner together, and you had Chris Brown and you had Rihanna and you had Neo and you had Jennifer Hudson and all, and they all performed because guess what? They had to compete. Like, oh no, BET's gonna pull our black audience, but now they don't have the competition no more. So they like,
yeah, they could do whatever they want.
Fuck it, we do whatever.
They go back to the way that they were. And
so without that competition, they're gonna stay complacent.
That's fine. They can stay complacent, but that doesn't mean that we have to be there, though.
No, but we have to, like you said, we have to build our stuff back up.
And that's
what's gonna force them to go back to how it was in the early 2000s, where you had Usher and them performing and stuff like that, because you gotta force that competition and be a threat in order for them to finally do things our way.
But see, that's the thing. I do not want to have to do things there. I don't want to eat from them table. I don't want to. I feel like we do not need to eat from their table to be accepted as what we are as a culture. Like we know when it comes down to what we do, There's no other culture does it like us. We know that. And that's why it's like I'm not sitting here fighting and want you, you know, if that's how you want to play it, if that's how you want to run your game, and that's how you want to do your thing, that's fine. But we don't have to eat from that table. But you're gonna respect us and for what we do, because we make too much. Y'all make too much damn money off of our culture, and our culture is worldwide. I see it all on Instagram. You have Asian people over there walking around with afros now, trying to have fades and stuff.
Kinky hair. Yeah.
Kinky hair. We always sit here, as a culture, try to get rid of our kinky hair, and now there's cultures who want kinky hair.
Because they try to convince us to get rid of it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to wake up and realize that, look, man, our culture is valuable. Why do you think they took us from where we was from? We bring value anywhere where we go, but we also have to realize that with the culture that we bring and the value that we bring, we have to bring quality.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
And that's the thing.
We don't understand about
we got to be responsible enough to bring quality.
Back in the day, we brought quality.
And that's the other thing too. Now it's just foolishness.
It's foolishness. And we let it get away with that. Like that post I put.
We let it run wild. We let the foolishness run wild too long.
Too long.
Like, it was fine having a silly little song here and there and, you know, like that. But now that's like the primary music. Like,
right. We let that be the leading voice of the culture. And it's ridiculous. And that's like that video I posted with old girl who was doing an interview with I don't know the white girl name.
Sukiana doing an interview with I don't know the girl name, but she's a popular podcaster now.
For wherever fucking.
And what made me mad about that video is like reading the comments underneath it on Shade Room, instead of being like, "Oh, why are we letting our people embarrass us like this?" It was like, but why are we going to these white people podcasts anyway? Da, 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 da. She tried to embarrass her. No, she's fucking dumb. Like, she's dumb. She's dumb.
This motherfucker.
I'm not a musician. I don't do magic tricks. I make music.
And she's
like, I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
You're not hearing the words. You're not even connecting the words.
She don't even know what that word means.
I'm a musician and I make music. Hello, you didn't hear the word that connects?
No, because she's too busy being combative.
Exactly. I don't think
that's ghetto.
I know. When
and people was like, "Oh, she was joking." No, she
wasn't. That motherfucker was cold hard serious.
She was dead serious.
And shit like that, I don't have time for. I will punch shit like that. And this is who y'all
buck up and look up to.
Exactly.
I just
fucking exactly, man. Look, me and Creel, we talk about all the time. Look, we talk. We're not one of those gossip. We're not about gossiping. We're not about bashing people, bashing women, or bashing men. We're not about that because there's enough of that. That shit is saturated out there.
There's enough.
There's
enough pages and YouTube channels about that.
Exactly. We never wanted to be part of that thing. But when something stands out, it has to be said.
But that's not gossip. That was just ignorance and just a proof of like where music is going, because this is what like Gen Z is in the club like going ham to, and this is who they look up to. This is who they send there going like, I want to be like Sukiana, I want to be like Ice Spice, I want to be like Sexy Red. Like, please don't.
And it's not. And
like, they got 16-year-olds out here talking about fuck my baby daddy. Like, dog, no. And like I said, this has become the primary music. Like, back in the day, you know, you have a song here that, you know, what we would like joke about it, like, that's just my baby daddy. That's just my baby daddy, you know. You had the stepdaddy song.
Do the stepdaddy.
You know, we had those every once in a while, but you know, that was for laughs. It was for laughs. Like, it was made intentionally to be comedic. And it wasn't the prime, but it wasn't hip hop as a whole. Same thing with like Lil Dicky's music. Like, it's not hip hop as a whole. It's made to be funny. You know,
entertaining.
It's made to be funny. It's made to be entertaining. You know, while also having a good beat. But like this mess is just trifling, and they making it the face of hip hop now, and it's like, oh my god. And so, and what sucks is like people like Kendrick and J. Cole and Andre 3000 and Killer Mike and all of them could put out music, and it's like they shit gets slept on because they're like, this is the new hotness, this is the wave, and I'm like, oh no.
I'm sorry, I gotta stop you there. Do not bring up Andre 3000 until he drops a real
with lyrics.
album.
I apologize.
Okay,
I apologize.
Until he drops a real fucking hip hop album. The shit he dropped, I understand that's what you want to do, but I need my old school.
We should play that in the background next podcast.
Nobody be like,
everybody be sleep.
Thank you. But you know what I feel we need? What we need is we need a reboot. We need an ass spanking, and we need the legends to come back and spank the fuck out these new motherfuckers and show them what. And we need to decide as a whole, like culture.
We need to decide as a whole that we want lyrical quality again.
Yes. Definitely.
We want lyrical quality again, and we don't want beat makers. We want real producers.
And there is a difference.
tired, and there's a big difference between beat makers and producers.
I had there's a girl I follow on Instagram. She's a singer, and she was like, "Yeah, they got a guy. He want me to sing a song, but you know he don't have a bridge in it, or it's not." I said because he's a beat maker. He makes beats. He doesn't produce songs. He makes beats. And I'm not knocking you beat makers for what y'all do.
Because y'all do have a role, but like that's not the person you sit and record with.
Right. I take your beat and I'll build off of that and expand it some more. And if you're willing to learn how to produce a song.
Like y'all buy the beat and then the producer puts it all together with background vocals.
Exactly. And
your vocals and how you should sing certain parts, if there should be a key change, you know, also, like you say, a bridge, an intro, you know, they're the ones that curate the whole thing.
Right.
Like they come up with the whole concept, whereas like a beat maker comes up with the beat.
Right. He doesn't think about how this is going to look. I got a beat in my head.
But a producer is a visionary.
Exactly. And I'm going to say this. That's another issue I have right now with the whole music industry is that where are the good producers at? Because there's a lot of shit that's being put out here that's trash.
It is.
Now, you know, when I go with Relic, when he goes to the studio record, like this guy in Metairie, he's a real producer because I'll go with Cam and he'll try to do something and I'll be like, nah, man, you gotta do it like that. And the dude, I've been to studios where the dude let the artist record that shit, like, yeah, that's good, and keep moving because they just want the money. Mm-hmm. They don't worry about how it sounds. They don't worry about how the artist project sound because they're like, I don't give a shit. If that's how they want to do it, I'm gonna let them do it. I'm gonna record it, fix the little settings, take their money, and keep them going.
Mm-hmm. I don't care how it sound. I don't really master it well because they got a lot of music out here that's not mastered well.
So, but with this guy, he's about that because, as you should be, because you know what they don't realize is that I got another guy. He does production for what that boy name? PJ Morton. And when PJ wins a Grammy, guess who gets also get a part of that credit? The producer.
Correct.
So you will want to make sure that you produce high quality material out here. So when they be like, man, that was a nice album. Who was the producer? Mm-hmm. So and so. Oh yeah,
And that's one thing I can say. So I definitely, you know, we had like a lot of questions about like the Grammy categories and like what's the difference between this and this, and so I did learn that some categories are producer songwriter categories versus artist categories because they actually joked about it on the Grammys with Meryl Streep. Actually, Meryl Streep was on stage with I think a producer or songwriter or whatever who's her son-in-law. Her daughter's married to the guy or dating the guy. And so they were on stage, and so they were explaining the difference between record of the year and song of the year.
Okay.
And so that's always been a question. It's like, what's the difference? And he was like, well, one is a songwriter producer award. So whoever wins this one is, because I think it was record of the year. So record of the year is for the producer and the songwriter. So that's who gets awarded for record of the year. So it's about how it's produced, how it's written, the lyrics, blah, blah, blah. Whereas song of the year is for the artist.
Right.
So the artist accepts the song of the year while the producers and the songwriters get record of the year.
Right.
So there's some categories that are producer, writer, and some of them are artist awards. And so, yeah, I mean, we're missed. I mean, there's some out there, there's some that are like coming up, coming out. You know, like recently, like I had showed you the interview Christy Coleman did with V-Script.
Yeah,
and he was talking about all the work he does and how networking got him there and how he met Dark Child and started working with him and all that stuff like that. But he's a producer. He said he's written on some songs. He's, you know, done the music for some songs, but he's a producer.
Right.
Not a beat maker.
Right.
You know.
And like I said, going back to what I said with the guy who works with PJ Morton and whatnot, you know, I gigged with him on like some church. He started off in the church.
Don't y'all know?
Hello. And
that is the musician journey. So I started out in the church. And then I used to sneak to the juke joints and play secular music. And then finally I approached my family and said, I really want to do this. And he was like, none of that secular music in this house. But I have to do me. If we keep it in this house, I'm going to resent you.
Side note, I had a dream. I had a dream last night that he was a famous musician. Not magician, musician. And
he does magic?
No, he plays music.
Is he like David Blaine?
No, he plays music. But he kind of looked like Barack Obama. It was crazy. And he was a local New Orleans musician, and he heard me play at church, and he wanted me to come sit in for a gig, and I sat in, and you know, I just did my thing, and he offered me some free recorded sessions, and you know, for me to take some classes at Tulane to further my my skills and whatnot. And I can't remember the guy's name. I don't know if this is even a real person.
You might run into him. You never know.
You're right. You never know.
One of you people down the road might be like, hey, you got to come and hit this cat.
I don't know. We'll see. But with that being said, is that, like I was saying earlier, I feel like the old school motherfuckers need to come back and spank some ass to show them how it's done.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
I mean, we've heard the T-Pain story, so of trying to work with younger artists, so.
Exactly. Now, what kind of gives me hope is when I sent you that video of Wanye's sons.
Yeah. Singing.
Well, you sent me them singing.
Yeah.
But I came across another post of them singing.
Now that they're a little older, yeah. And
Mary J. Blige signed them to her record company. And what I love about that is Mary gonna work them boys and make them boys sing.
Oh yeah,
you heard me. And B,
and probably link them with all of the connects she's made over the years.
Exactly. And B, I know that it's gonna be true R&B quality music. And you know, I was telling Creole, you know, not too long ago, we were just going over like, you know, there haven't been another SWV in so long, or a Jagged Edge in so many years. Like, there's no.
It's so hard to keep groups
traditional. But I'm not even talking about groups, but just real traditional style R&B. there haven't been that many of them. Now I give SZA props for what she does. Don't get me wrong. It's not traditional R&B, but
for me, lyrical quality is there because I'm a big lyrics person, and
her lyrical quality, her
music is just how it was back in the day. It sounds like a poem, being read.
Right. I would call her stuff, contemporary R&B, maybe. Yeah,
that's what they're starting to call it. Is contemporary R&B.
So yeah, she's contemporary R&B. Janae is contemporary R&B. Coco Jones is contemporary. She's contemporary. So I had no problem with those. But I miss the ballads. Absolutely. I miss the motherfuckers doing the runs. You hear me?
Yes.
And feeling that shit hit my chest. Made me be like,
but that's why I kind of laugh at some of the Instagram and TikTok videos that talk about like, because this new younger generation with they like psychology terms that they abuse and all that stuff like that, and so love bombing and everything is stalking and like, but somebody was joking about Stomp the Yard and a dude commented, he's like, nah, this is a sexual assault charge now. Where they were showing Columbus Short, like, all of the times he tried to get Megan Good in the movie. Facts. Like, being consistently. He saw her at the step show on the yard, and he followed her, and he stopped her and said, hey. He tried to holler at her and was like, found out he had an old man. Then he, like, stopped her when he was cutting the grass, remember? And then he turned around, he found out she was a tutor, and he found out what she was tutoring, and he got her to be the tutor so they could spend more time together. And that was his excuse. Mm-hmm. And like a dude in the comments said, he's like, oh, this is 2024. This is considered sexual assault now, being persistent. And hell yeah. It's also, they got people that consider it stalking, and so that's what they joke about, like, Usher's You Remind Me, where he's like following the girl down the street dancing behind her, and Omarion in Touch, he's dancing behind the girl walking behind her. Chris Brown in Excuse Me Miss, where he follows the girl all the way from his job to the park, and my cousins and them had sent the video of Chris Brown. They had the animated one where the girl like pepper sprays him. Right. And we were laughing about it. I was like, I blame Michael Jackson's The Way You Make Me Feel, because that was him in the video too. He was following the girl the entire time. That's what R&B was back in the day. It was a dude being persistent, going, I saw you were beautiful. I'm following you. Can I get your number? Blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe if I see you again, I'm going to try to holler at you again. That's what R&B was. Like, even when it wasn't the ballads, it was still a romantic thing. It was a chase. It was you're beautiful. I can't take my eyes off you. Right. We in a packed club and you're the only one I see because you just has this glow about you. Right. We lost all of that R&B wise, And so, yeah, I agree. Like, I want to get back to the ballads. I want to, like you say, R&B died when niggas stopped crying in the rain. When they stopped putting out albums where they were like leaning on a fur carpet,
Apologize.
I mean, even Ray J's One Wish of him in the rain. Like, come on, like, right? Like we missed them. What was it? Boyz II Men Bended Knee days.
Even Real was started. I'm sorry for 2004. And I never.
Like, we definitely got to get back to the baby, please.
Thank you.
Baby, please days.
Because the guy, honest truth, I really believe that the music definitely is. Music and social media together are influencing these horrible, toxic relationships.
Well, because they think that's how it is. Meanwhile, we were like hopeless romantics.
Exactly. That's what I say.
I'm sorry, even in some of like toxic. We did have some toxic songs. Like, now that we know the lyrics to them, we were dancing to them because the song sounded romantic. But then when you like think about it, it's like,
wait, this nigga really left his girl a voicemail talking about he wasn't coming home because he going to screw some other women. Talking about Donnell Jones.
Where I want to be.
You know, Carl Thomas
but
like getting mad.
Like that though.
It wasn't until you start listening to the lyrics. It's like, wait a goddamn minute. You know, and it's the same thing with like Carl Thomas. Like, oh yeah, and you like jamming to the song. It's like, wait, this nigga was the side piece, and he's mad that she decided to break things off and go back to her family. Like,
like I said, it was presented like that. It was
wasn't
in a different manner.
But we was at the school dances, just slow dance to that shit. Like we understood what it was talking about. Now that we older, it was like, wait a goddamn, this some. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we didn't have some shit there, but we did.
We did, but it was presented in a very like. How could I put it? You felt it though. Because I mean, it's still relationship situations, but now it's like the idea that all relationships are toxic. You know, all relationships are toxic. They all have make up the breakups. We argue all the time, you know, like because we really in love because we broke up 5 times and we are back together. Like, that's not how it was back in the day. Like, broke up, you was in your feelings. You know, you went through a situation when you found out you was a side piece and you fell for that person, but they decided to stay with their main. You felt it. You know, we also discussed like conflicted feelings, you know. But it was in depth. It was deep. It was all of that stuff like that. Now it's just like every relationship is toxic. Every relationship is terrible. It's nothing but arguing and throwing stuff, and you know, everybody's a side piece in somebody's relationship.
Somebody.
That's the idea too.
I'm waiting to get that.
But I keep telling you, I feel a shift.
I'm ready to
People are getting tired of it. Gen Z is growing up. They getting tired of it. I'm like I told you, I'm sensing it won't be instantaneous, but I sense a shift coming.
Like I said, I'm ready to get that phone call. Hey, bro. This Creole side piece, and
never.
I just feel that.
Look. I told you when we first started talking. Not even when we was in a relationship. I told you when we first started talking. I'm too lazy to juggle that. I'm far too lazy.
Well, somebody gonna come out with some shit.
And I don't like people enough to be juggling 2 dudes.
Oh, bro, Jesus Christ! I get too much shit now. I can imagine you had 2 niggas.
Bruh, I be like, I'm tired now. You think, bruh, I be tired when I get off work at 10:30 at night. You think I'm about to then go put some effort and energy into a dude before I come home? Hey, babe, you know, you gonna stop by after 8? Yeah, okay. I'm 35 years old now. Like, I ain't got time for that. Like, I'm tired. I'm ready to go home. I'm on my bed. Like,
thank you. Fuck.
The extent of like a side piece relationship would probably be like some guy that I met that likes a television show that you can't stand and I get to watch it in peace. And even then we be on opposite sides of the couch where I'm sitting up there going, oh, okay. What?
Side piece be the stem be text message.
Right, but a full blown go and visit you and spending time. I don't want to do nothing.
Over? Fuck no, man. Go bye.
Like all I want to do is just be on the couch and cuddle with you. Like you think I'm about to go sneak off somewhere after work?
Shit.
I'm tired.
Man, I'm trying
it's
to tell
too
you.
much. Like just the thought of it is exhausting. I don't see how people actually do it.
That's the hole in them. But like I said. But what you're saying though, with the whole shift, I'm sensing that shift too, and you know I do look forward to it. But like I said, I really think that we can really get this ball rolling. Is like I said, I think our old school heads, I know they made their money. They really ain't gotta drop albums, but I feel like they all should at least drop one comeback album. Not to come back and don't drop the shit doing with the new people, these new bullshit. Come back and do what you fucking do. To show them young motherfuckers that us old heads, we'll show you what fans are. You feel me?
And well, here's the thing with the old heads. Yeah, they've made enough money to the point where they don't have to put out an album. But also the beauty of it is that because they don't have to face label pressure of you got to put out an album, you got to put out an album every year, da 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 da. They can take the time to curate a good, solid album.
Hell yeah.
We might only get it every 5 years.
That's fine.
But it'll be, at least we know it'll be a good album. Like Bruno Mars, like we know, yeah, it's going to take him 5-10 years, but we know it's going to be a good album. You know, and different things like that. Because when they're ready to do an album, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I got this. Or like, I've been putting this together for years. I've made hundreds of songs, and I can pick the perfect 20 out of the hundreds of songs I've been recording over the last 5-10 years, and I could pluck the perfect 20 to make a good album.
Right.
You know, the best, cream of the crop, you know. And so at least we know that there's like a lot of work put in it, because I always say that's why back in the day they used to always talk about the sophomore slump, because the first album would be great. But also you got to understand it's an artist that started working on this first album to make sure it's perfect, because the label was like, okay, this first album has to be perfect because this is your debut and you got to do it big and
right.
da-da-da. So it has to be great. And your first single just has to like punch and like it has to hit as soon as it come on, you know? And so there was like so much thought going into that first one. And so when you listen to artists now who are like, yeah, how was it for your first album? You know, you hear from like Usher, who's like, yeah, you know, my first album dropped when I was 17, but I had been working on it since I was 14. You know, Chris Brown's first album, it came out when he was 16, but he's like, I started working on it when I was 13.
Right.
You know, and so the label is like, you know, okay, we gonna build you up and we gonna make sure, and you know, because the first song got a hit, you know. And that's why they always talk about the sophomore slump, because then they spend 2, 3, 5 years on the first album to make sure it's perfect and to make sure that first hit hits.
And then once that first one dropped,
then they're rushing you to put the second one out because, okay, we gotta strike the iron when it's hot.
That's right.
You know, we gotta keep the momentum going. So you need to drop a new album next year. And so they rush that album. And that's what they always talk about, the sophomore slump. It's like, oh, and not all the time is the sophomore album terrible. It's just not as good as the first, because not as much effort, because the second one got rushed.
Right.
And then there's the sophomore slump because the second one got rushed. Then they go, okay, that one didn't go as well. We're going to take a breather, you know, because you've been working hard for 7 years straight. Take a small breather. We'll come back to the drawing board. And then your third album, we're going to take our time, put it together. And then usually after that, they're straight.
Right.
You know?
So.
Because let's be real. Yeah, the My Way album was good. But like Usher's probably top 2 albums was 8701. You don't like 8701? You like My Way better?
Confessions.
No. I didn't say the best. I said top 2.
Oh, top 2? Okay.
8701 and then Confessions.
No.
You don't think so?
Once again, you say the top 2.
No, I didn't mean in that order. But I was trying to say as far as, because I was trying to explain the gap in time. Because 8701 came out in 01.
Right.
Confessions didn't come out till 04.
Okay.
So he took 3 years to give us Confessions. That's what I'm saying. Right.
I understand that. I'm just saying in general, though.
No, Confessions is number 1. Like,
okay.
That's what I'm saying. That was not in a particular order.
Okay.
It was order in which it came out, order of best.
Okay.
That is universal knowledge. Is Confessions is the best Usher album of all time and one of the best R&B albums of all time.
Hey, chill out. They got some artists that got some fire-ass R&B albums.
No, they do, but Confessions is definitely one of the top albums of all time. But, I meant 8701 and then Confessions
how it was released.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Which one was better?
No, I agree.
No, Confessions is superior.
Right. No, I agree. I agree to that.
But I was meant to explain in like 8701, because 8701 is the date it dropped.
Right.
So 8701 obviously came out in 2001. And then he took 3 years, because even though 8701 was big, because You Don't Have to Call and all that stuff like that. You Got It Bad. All that was on that album. So that was a big album. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. You Don't Have to Call. All that stuff was on that album. And so that one won him Grammys and all that stuff like that. And then he took 3 years to give us Confessions, which he, like we said, took his time and gave us a masterpiece.
This is that bad boy I get home.
What, Confessions or 8701?
No, Confessions, boy.
Yeah.
Shit.
And so, yeah. So when you take time to put together an album, you give us great things like Confessions, you know? Because I know everybody was like, man, because I'm pretty sure after 8701 with You Don't Have to Call and all that, they were like, oh, you need to hurry up and put out an album because you hot, you know? You won the Grammys and all that stuff like that. You hot. And he pretty much was like, nope, we gonna wait, you know? We gonna wait. We gonna take our time with this next album. I promise I'm gonna give you a good one. Just give me time. And he gave us Confessions 3 years later instead of rushing it.
8701 is his sophomore album?
No, 8701 is his third
I'm about
album.
to see.
Because the first one is Call Me a Mac. The second one was My Way, which he said, Call Me a Mac, he didn't feel like himself, which he's always said, like, they tried to make him do older music while he was young.
Right.
Because of how his voice was mature and all that stuff.
Yeah, he was
they
wanted 14, I think, or something.
Like 14, 16. Yeah. And so they tried to make him older. And then also he was working with Diddy, so they gave him more of a New York R&B sound, like the Mary J. Blige and stuff. If you listen to it, it favors like Mary J. Blige 112 type stuff, which is the New York sound of R&B, which isn't really him. And so that's why he said the second album was called My Way, because that's when they let him do the music he wanted. Because that's the other thing about your first album. It's what everybody wants for you. And then afterwards, you can start having an opinion about what you want. And so,
baby.
Yeah, so it was like Call Me a Mac, then My Way, like he said, because that's when he got to make the type of music and sound he wanted. And that's when he started working with Jermaine Dupri, which was his southern roots, because, you know, he's from Tennessee originally and then moved to Atlanta.
I always thought that boy from Atlanta.
No, he is from Chattanooga. He's from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and his mama moved to Atlanta.
Because I saw, I recently came across a thing when he was on Oprah. Oprah was asking him, you know, she asked him that, do you feel that location had to do with your success? You know, because he was talking about how he left from Chattanooga, and, you know, he out there in Atlanta stuff. And he was like, yeah, you know, not to say that you can't make it in Chattanooga, but it definitely helps if you, you know, move around.
Because he was able to link with like Jermaine Dupri and all of them and all that stuff like that. And yeah, so he did My Way, and then he did 8701, and then he did Confession. And then after Confessions, he strayed away from those teams, and that's when he was with the first wife, and
who fucked up his shit.
Yeah, and that's when he like was splitting with his mom and all that stuff like that. You could hear it because it was so different. It was like, ooh, what is this? You know,
this ain't Usher,
right?
But he's coming back. His
new album. Have you gotten a chance to listen to
I listened to some of it. I ain't get to listen to the whole thing. I'm gonna listen to it today, though.
Not the way you got on my back.
Because you the big music buff.
I'm the big music buff?
Yes, you are. Don't play stupid.
Not the way you tell everybody I only listen to Chris Brown, but now I'm the music buff?
You are the music. Stop. First of all,
I got you. I'm teasing.
Oh,
but
don't hurry up and say tease, because you know
I know you was about to go in on me.
All right, but I'm gonna listen to it today. But you told me that you said that it was.
It's good. It's good. It's real R&B.
Real R&B.
Only thing is, you know, the way things are now, it might not get much radio play.
It probably won't.
But Maybe they'll play Ruin on the radio. They should. Because Ruin has somewhat of an Afrobeats vibe, which is what we've been sliding to. And so maybe thanks to the success of Tyler's Water, Chris Brown's Sensational, hopefully they'll play Ruin.
We'll see. We'll see what they.
But we need to start playing like actual R&B songs again.
Yeah, we need to make R&B great again.
Yeah.
You heard me, man. That was a lot.
Huh?
Say that was a lot.
What you mean?
What we talked about?
Yeah.
That was a lot.
This is what we do.
You right it, baby.
We talk about music and vibes and in culture.
Yeah. Shit, I think that's it, Creel.
Yeah, I mean, we can wrap it up right there.
So look, y'all, once again, I would like to say we thank y'all for tuning in and listening to another episode of All But Yeah. Please subscribe, pass the love, tell your family and friends about us. Keep on pushing us. And like I said, we're going to be consistent enough to provide you content, great content for you to enjoy and listen to and laugh. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Uncle Mark. Give a shout out to some viewers in Cali. You say we have some listeners in Cali.
Yeah, we got listeners in Cali, Arizona.
Yeah, someone across the seas or two.
I mean, France, India, Germany.
Dugenhagen. So shout out to y'all. Spread the love. Like I said, we're not going nowhere, baby. Like I said, once life starts kicking our ass and we're able to set up shop how we want to, just be ready for us, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Man, get us popular so we can afford all that.
Yeah, so we get some sponsorship and shit, man.
So we can start making some money. We can afford to set up a nice studio.
Shit, and have some guests over and stuff, cause
so we can have our fluorescent. Not our fluorescent. Have our neon sign behind us.
Yeah, that
and
all
wallpaper and cushy chairs.
Yeah, the whole setup, the whole nine. But like I said, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. This is your boy Retro.
And this is your girl Creole.
Y'all take care. Peace.
Let's go. It's your girl Creole. It's your boy Retro. It's your boy Retro. It's your boy. It's your boy Retro. Retro. It's your boy. It's your boy. It's your boy. It's your boy Retro. Retro. Let's go. It's Creole. Let's go. It's Creole. Let's go. Your girl Creole. Let's go. Your girl Creole. Oh yeah. It's your girl Creole. Let's go. It's your girl Creole. It's your boy Retro. It's your boy Retro. But yeah.